Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We'll be doing some DIY in this video, and the process to do this should be the same across whatever knife you decide to do it to, if that makes sense. So what I'm showing you guys to do should work the same way for a whole bunch of, same principle for a whole bunch of different kydex sheaths. So you have to play with it a little bit, but it's going to be pretty much the same way. I'll use this guy as an example right here. This is the Wenger Blades aphid tracker, and when I got it, it came with just a simple kydex sheath, so it's got a few eyelets here and there in it, and I decided, because of its size, to wear it as a neck knife. But when I was playing around with it, I done a leather belt adapter. The first one that I done this for was the Exodus Knife and Tool Bushcraft, and it was a small little kydex deal, about the same as this, just like this one too, just a kydex sheath. Didn't have these rivets on it, so no leather, it was just kydex, and I wanted to be able to carry it on my belt, and it was the same way. So all I did was figured out how big I wanted my belt loop to be, then added that to a piece of leather that is the exact size of my sheath, and then with the top, I used the top holes to not only attach the kydex to the leather, but hold the leather together. And it works fine. Same way with the bottom. Some of them, depending on how they work, they have holes on each side. So I do the same thing like this. I'd use the holes on each side to hold the leather as well. Then the one on the bottom, I just ran a paracord lanyard through and hung like a ferro rod toggle from it. I've done this on a bunch of different knives. Like I said, it's the same overall principle. Really easy to do. You can use, like this one, you could use zip ties if you didn't have anything else. But I decided to do some copper rivets on this one, and I like the way it looks. Pretty cool. But it's the exact same way. I just folded my leather. I put one here just because I wanted to make sure I had plenty to hold it. I did one just kind of floating by itself back there, and then done the rest through the eyelets on the kydex to put it all together. So I turned what originally was Scout Carry with this one. It's from Mr. James Gibson. This is the Climate. Super awesome knife. But so instead of carrying it Scout Carry, I wanted it to be carried on a belt. So that was the easiest way for me to do this. So basically, any setup for a kydex sheath, as long as it has a few holes in it, you can do this too. The possibilities are endless. These are these Chicago screws or Chicago bolts. You can get a assortment pack of like 100 different ones for $4 or $5 off Amazon, and depending on which ones and what all you're doing it for, they have different lengths. So I use longer ones for the top than do the bottom, so on and so forth. But you can get some of those screws, and they're nice to have too, especially if you're doing gear mods, because you can attach lots of other stuff with those things. And I like putting a little red Loctite on mine once I get it put together, if I don't plan on ever taken anything loose. So I roll with it. I don't ever have any problems with them coming loose over periods of time. I tend to use a leather sheath most of the time, just because if you get in and out, up and down, crawl around on the floor, on off a forklift, in and out of a car, on a tractor, whatever, having this little bit of flexibility here on your sheath makes a huge difference than one that's just crispy and straight up and down on your side. That little extra movement is super comfortable, in my opinion. It works best for me, and then they end up looking pretty good too. Like this one looked really good with the leather when it was on there. It was pretty nice and relatively inexpensive. If you figure you got $10 in it, half of that would be your assortment of hardware, which would last you for a long time. It'd be even cheaper than that the next time that you decided to use it. So, super quick little do-it-yourself modification to turn a kydex sheath into a more flexible belt carry option. Anyway, it's been a little while, guys. I went to SE over the weekend, seen my buddies and made some new ones, and just had a good time. It was cold sleeping out there. It was like 20 degrees, but I think the night before it had got down to like 17 degrees or something like that with wind. But we all survived. We was all wrapped up like mummies Saturday. Just been up there on the hill like that. It was cool, but we ate good food and told stories and lots of skills practice. Made a bunch of crafts and bow drill friction fires, and I left before they did the hand drill stuff. I had some things I had to take care of here at the house, but that SE class is a lot of fun. I've been 4 or 5 times now. But guys, I appreciate the support. I know this is kind of corny, but I'm going to encourage you guys because I am encouraged to do so. If you get the chance to help somebody, whatever it may be, you can choose, what that may be. But if you can help somebody this holiday season, I encourage you to do so. However you see fit. We should all help each other whenever we can, but especially now, it's tough on folks, and a little kindness can go a long way. But I appreciate the support. Thanks, guys. We've been growing this channel pretty good. I want to share this stuff with as many people as I think would enjoy it. Thanks for the support on the website. You can get your gizmos and gadgets at bushcraftkelso.com. My Instagram, it has, I noticed the other day, has 8,000 posts on there. So there's quite a few projects and pieces of gear and mods and do-it-yourself things on there too. So it's at Bushcraft Kelso. We'll find all that stuff, and you'd have to browse for a week probably to see it all, but there's a lot of good stuff on there. But thanks, guys. Again, you can like and subscribe for more stuff. I got a lot of stuff coming down the line, and we'll keep on keeping on. I'm sure I'll talk to you guys before Christmas, but have a Merry Christmas if I don't. Thanks again.